Hope your day is going well. About 2 or 3 days ago, I saw a post which I then took and shared to my page on Facebook. Essentially, the message of it is one of being open to light and love. The quote starts out by saying, "Men aren't trash, and women aren't crazy." Excuse me. And it basically goes on to say that every person is imperfect and trying to heal and trying to figure life out. I'll post the image in the comments of this video. I think it's something that's really important to understand right now. And I want to start by saying that it doesn't have to exist in a gender binary world. It can exist in just human relations as a whole. Friendships, romances, straight, queer, lesbian, bisexual, whatever it might be. I think it appeals to all scenarios. Essentially, we all have had events that have, made us beautiful individuals, which I think we all are at heart. But we also have had events that have shaped us to where we've, come to believe or come to exist in a certain way that does harm to others. And I think it also needs to be mentioned that society as a whole has not always helped us with that. You only have to go back 100 years, just to this year even, for women to have the right to vote, even shorter time for minorities across the world, but particularly in the United States. You could argue there's voter suppression today as well. But you could then also say, well, at some point, marriages between men and women, like women didn't have property rights, and people of color didn't have rights in this area of the world, and so on and so forth. And also, look at media. To say that sex is used in advertising, movies, music, the entertainment industry, is an understatement. And that objectification then of nearly half of all humans, that's something that's not, I think in a large part, it's not great. It might produce, works of art and stuff like that, but if there's an underlying ideology, it can be very detrimental to a society. Another one for the side on men is the idea that being masculine means being aggressive towards others, or that you're not allowed to express your emotions, and that you're just supposed to hold it all in together. Why, for whatever reason, that became a cultural norm across the world, solidified itself into our psyche. These are major underlying issues. And when I say issues, I mean just certain fabrics and frequencies that have existed for a long time that we have to kind of look at. And we need to digest and try to break apart. I think, I'm not dating right now in the modern dating world, but I feel as if, a lot of people often say, oh, there's no good women out there, or there's no good men out there, or there's just no other good people out there. And yet we've risen to a level of standard to where, we say, oh, we can only accept a perfect person, and yet perfection doesn't exist. None of us are perfect. We might see another imperfect person perfectly. We might imperfectly see ourselves, but we all have flaws. Every single person. That's what makes us mortal. And these associations, these generalizations about people and genders and stuff like that, we have to tread cautiously. I think that if we want to heal as a species, these are a couple ideas we have to sit down with. As always, it starts with getting quiet. It starts with loving yourself, and then wanting that love to be spread to others. If you start with being the light or being love, being open to compassion and transparency, I think that's a good place to begin. It's definitely a challenge. Let's try to let love prevail. Be well.